I was in my office late that evening, reviewing the case files from Riverside theme park, the animatronics, the missing guard, the boy who turned himself into a machine. I haven't even finished writing the final report yet. That's when my office door bursted open. Two officers stumbled in, trying to restrain a terrified woman. Detective Distraught, she forced her way past the front desk. Officers, let her go. They froze. I closed the theme park folder and stood up. I need to hear her out. The woman looked like she'd been running for miles, hair messy, breathing heavy, eyes wide with panic. Why are you in my office? She swallowed. Because something strange is happening at the mall, and no one believes me. Oh, come on, quiet. He shut up instantly. I gestured toward the chair. Sit. Start from the beginning. It started 2 days ago. She sat down, hands trembling. I worked at Riverside Mall. I've been there for weeks. Nothing weird ever happens. But 2 days ago, I went to the staff bathroom during my break. When I came out, there was a woman standing there. A staff member, uniform, badge, everything. Okay, and? She looked very wrong. How was that out of the ordinary? The woman turned toward the officer, voice cracking. Because her face looked too polished, like someone tried to imitate a human expression, but not understanding how emotions work. I felt a chill crawl up my spine. Explain. She smiled at me, but the smile didn't move her eyes. It didn't move her cheeks. It was like someone painted the expression on. She shivered. And when I asked if she was okay, she said, "I'm fine. How are you today, Laura Bennings?" But her voice sounded rehearsed, like she was reading a script she didn't understand. Has anything else happened? She nodded slowly. This morning, I went to my favorite froyo stand. I go there every day. The guy who works there is usually tired, bored, you know, normal. But today, he was smiling. Too much. Too wide. Too perfect. How do you mean? It was like he practiced a smile in the mirror. Like he was trying to look friendly but didn't know how humans acted. She mimicked a stiff grin. And when I thanked him, he said, "You're welcome. Come back next time." But he said it like a recording. Same thing, same rhythm, same exact words. Like all he knew how to say. She looked up at me, eyes filling with tears. Detective, it didn't feel like a person talking to me. It felt like something pretending to be one. Distraught, this is ridiculous. She's probably just stressed. You too. Quiet. He shut up instantly. I looked back at the woman. Ma'am, what exactly do you think is happening at the mall? She shook her head. I don't know, but people are acting strange. Too perfect. Too rehearsed. Like they're hiding something. Or like something is hiding inside them. I opened my desk drawer and pulled out a thin folder. Missing persons reports, all from the same mall, all quietly closed. I slid the folder toward her. These are the people you're talking about? Her eyes widened. Yes, those are them. I closed the folder. This wasn't random. This wasn't paranoia. This was a pattern. I stood up, grabbed my coat, and holstered my flashlight. Alright, show me this mall. The woman exhaled in relief. The officers looked stunned. Detective, you can't be serious. Look, listen. Just listen to me. I've dealt with animatronics that shouldn't move. I've dealt with a boy who turned himself into a machine. I opened the door. So trust me, officers. I'm not underestimating a mall. The woman stood, wiping her tears. Thank you, detective. Don't thank me yet. As we stepped into the hallway, I glanced back at the theme park case file on my desk. Another mystery. Another place with secrets. Another building hiding something beneath the surface. We arrived at Riverside Mall just as the evening crowds were thinning out. Families dragging tired kids, teenagers laughing too loudly, employees clocking out with that dead end of the shift stare. The sun was dipping behind the building, turning the glass entrance into a giant black mirror. Perfect timing. Closing time. Exactly when the weirdness begins. Laura stayed close beside me, clutching her purse like it was a life vest. I scanned the dispersing crowd, then leaned toward her. If you see anything, and I mean anything wrong, you report it back to me immediately. Got it? She nodded fast. I will. I promised. We stepped through the sliding doors. The moment we entered, I felt it. The air was wrong. Not the usual mall smell, pretzels, perfume, cheap cologne. It was colder, sterile, like a hospital pretending to be a shopping center. The overhead lights flickered in a slow, rhythmic pattern. Not broken, synchronized, like breathing. Laura whispered, Detective, this is where it started. I nodded. Stay close. We approached the Froyo stand. The employee was there, smiling. Too wide, too still, too perfect. He wasn't scooping anything. He wasn't cleaning. He wasn't doing anything. Just standing behind the counter, smiling at nothing. Laura tugged my sleeve. That's him, she whispered. That's the guy. I stepped forward. Evening. The man's smile didn't change. Welcome. Come back next time. I frowned. I haven't ordered anything. Same smile, same tone. Come back next time. Laura's voice trembled. That's exactly what he said to me, over and over. I leaned in slightly, studying his face. His eyes were glassy, unfocused, like he was looking through me. Sir, are you alright? His head twitched, just a tiny movement. Then, you're welcome. Come back next time. Same tone, same rhythm, same exact words, like a broken toy. I stepped back and scanned them all. A woman at the jewelry shop, a man at the pretzel stand, a janitor sweeping the same spot over and over. None of them blinked, not once. Their movements were stiff, mechanical, like they were copying human behavior from memory and getting the details wrong. Laura whispered, Detective, do you see it now? I nodded slowly. Oh yeah, I see it. A voice echoed behind us. Detective Destrawn. I turned. A tall man in a suit approached us, smiling politely. Too politely. He extended his hand. I'm the mall manager. We spoke on the phone. I didn't shake his hand. Good. Then you know why I'm here. His smile didn't move. His eyes. Of course. We take employee concerns very seriously. From behind him, the Froyo guy was still smiling, still staring, still not blinking. The manager gestured toward the escalators. Let me show you around. We want to assure you everything is perfectly normal. Laura grabbed my arm. Her voice was barely a whisper. Detective, don't you go with him. I looked at her, then at the manager. His smile hadn't changed, not even a millimeter. I forced a calm breath. Lead the way. But inside, every instinct was screaming, something is very, very wrong in this mall. And whatever it is, it's watching us. The manager led us deeper into the mall, his polished shoes clicking softly against the tile. His smile never changed, not once. Laura stayed close beside me, her breathing shallow. As we walked, I kept taking mental notes. The janitor still sweeping the exact spot. The jewelry clerk still smiling at nothing. The pretzel worker frozen mid-lean like he forgot what he was reaching for. None of them blinking. None of them reacting to us. None of them present. The manager didn't acknowledge any of it. He guided us toward a hallway marked staff only, swiping his badge to unlock the door. Right this way. Just a quick walk to my office. His tone was calm, too calm, like he'd rehearsed it. The hallway was narrow and dimly lit, lined with employee posters about customers, service, and safety. But something was off. Every poster featured the same employees, same smiles, same poses, same expressions, just different uniforms. Laura whispered, Detective, that's her, the woman from the bathroom. She was right. The same too polished smile, the same dead eyes, the same uncanny expression. Repeated like a template. I kept walking. The manager unlocked another door and gestured inside. My office. Please, have a seat. The room was spotless, too spotless. No papers, no pens, no personal items, just a desk, a computer, and 2 chairs. It looked staged, like a room prepared for a tour, not a workspace. The manager sat beside the desk, folding his hands neatly. "You two seem very invested in this place. What exactly are you hoping to find?" His tone was polite, but his eyes were studying us, measuring us. I didn't sit. "Have there been any disturbances lately?" The manager blinked once, the first blink I've seen since we arrived. "Disturbances? No. Everything here is perfectly normal." Laura stepped forward. "That's not true. People are acting strange. The Froyo guy." The manager cut her off gently. "Ah, yes, Daniel. He's one of our most reliable employees." Laura frowned. "You know him?" "Of course. I know all my staff." I stepped closer. "Reliable how?" The manager's smile didn't move. "He never leaves his station." Laura's breath hitched. That's exactly the problem." The manager didn't react, didn't blink, didn't shift, just kept smiling. I leaned on the desk. "Your employees are unresponsive, repetitive, mechanical." The manager tilted his head slightly, studying me like I was a puzzle piece that didn't fit. "Detective, what exactly do you think is happening here?" I didn't answer. Instead, I scanned the room again. No photos, no certificates, no signs of a real human being working here. Just a perfectly arranged office, like a showroom. The manager leaned forward. "Tell me, what are you looking for?" Before I could respond, the lights flickered. Just once, but the manager's smile twitched. A tiny glitch, a crack in the mask. He recovered instantly. "My apologies. Old wiring." His voice didn't match the smile anymore. Something underneath was straining, watching, listening. I straightened up. "I want access to your restricted areas, storage rooms, maintenance tunnels, any lower levels." The manager's smile vanished, completely. His face went blank, emotionless. Then in a flat monotone voice, "There are no restricted areas." Laura grabbed my arm. "Detective, he's lying." I nodded. "I know." The manager stood up slowly. "Your tour is over. You both need to leave." His voice was calm, but his eyes weren't calm at all. They were hungry. We walked out of the staff-only hallway and back into the main mall floor. The manager's footsteps faded behind us, swallowed by the hum of the closing mall. Laura followed behind me down the escalator toward the mattress section, her voice rising in panic. That's it? We just walk away?" I didn't answer. Not yet. She hurried in front of me, forcing me to stop. "Detective, he's lying. You know he's lying." "Shush," I muttered, lowering my voice. "I got an idea." Laura blinked at me, confused and frustrated. "What idea?" "I thought we were leaving." "No, we're circling back." We stepped off the escalator into the dim mattress section. Quiet, empty, the perfect place to talk without being watched. I turned to her. "You say you worked here, right?" "Only for a few weeks," she nervously said. "How much access do you have?" She shook her head. I'm just a floor staff in the movie section. I don't have keys to anything important." "Damn." "Alright, then we do this the hard way." Laura crossed her arms. "What does that mean?" I looked back toward the staff-only hallway. "It means we need the manager's key card." Her eyes widened. No way. He wears that thing around his neck. I've never seen him without it." "Exactly. Something like that can't just be laying around." I paused. But today, something was off. Laura frowned. "What does that mean?" He rushed us out of the office too fast. He slipped. His smile glitched. His voice cracked. He blinked at the wrong time. I stepped closer, and when he stood up, he didn't reach for his neck. Laura's breath caught. You think he left it?" I think that out of all the days he could have forgotten it, today was the day. She shook her head. Detective, even if he did, how are we supposed to get into his office? He's right there. That's where you come in. Laura froze. Me? You distract him long enough for me to slip into the office, grab the key card, and get out. Her voice cracked. Detective, I can't. Yes, you can. You don't have to steal anything. Just tell him, just keep him talking. Ask him about your schedule. Ask him about your hours. Ask him about anything. She swallowed hard. And you'll be in his office? Quick in, quick out. Once I have that key card, we find the restricted area. Laura looked toward the staff-only hallway, fear in her eyes. What if he catches you? I smirked. Then we improvise. She took a shaky breath. Detective, this is insane. I stepped closer. Laura, you came to me because something is very wrong with this mall. This is how we find out what it is. She hesitated, then nodded. Okay, I'll distract him. I straightened my coat. Good, because if that keycard is in his office, I looked back toward the hallway. Then the mall just made its first mistake. Laura took a deep breath, straightening her shirt, and walked toward the staff-only hallway with the purpose I haven't seen from her yet. Okay, I think I know how to get his attention. What's the plan? She swallowed. The movie section. The inventory system glitches all the time. If I tell him a shipment is missing or the scanner's down, he'll have to check it. He hates when that section looks bad. I nodded. Good. Keep him talking. Keep him walking. And don't let him look back. Laura nodded once, then marched down the hallway. I waited 5 seconds, then followed. Laura reached the manager's office door and knocked quietly. Sir? Sorry. Can I talk to you for a second? The manager opened the door, that same stiff smile plastered on his face. Yes, Laura. How can I assist you? It's the movie section. The scanners again. The new shipment. The one with the collector's edition. I can't find it anywhere. The manager's smile twitched. Just slightly. That is unusual. Show me. He stepped out of the office. Laura led him down the hallway. And the moment they turned the corner, I slipped inside. The door clicked shut behind me. Silence. The office looked exactly the same as before. Spotless, staged, empty of personality. But now I wasn't looking for personality. I was looking for a key card. If I were a manager, where would I put it? I scanned the room. Nothing on the desk. Nothing hanging on the wall. Nothing on the hook by the door. Drawers. I pulled the first drawer open. Pens, paper clips, a stapler. Second drawer. Receipts, old schedules, a broken walkie-talkie. Third drawer. Empty. Come on. Then I noticed something. A fourth drawer. Smaller. Flush with the desk. Easy to miss. I pulled it open, and there it was. The manager's key card. Just sitting there, like it was waiting for me. I grabbed it and slipped it into my pocket. Got you. I turned to leave, then stopped. Right, before I forget. Lower levels. I scanned the office again. Nothing on the walls, nothing on the desk. Then I saw it. A folder on the side table, labeled Mall Layout, Updated. I opened it. Blueprints. Dozens of them. And on the third page, a section that wasn't on the public map. A section labeled Sub-Level Access, Maintenance Storage, Staff Transfer. My heart dropped. There it is. I snapped a picture with my phone, folded the blueprints back exactly how I found it, closed the folder. I slipped out the office, eased the door shut behind me. Footsteps echoed from down the hall. Laura's voice. And I swear, sir, the scanner just keeps freezing. The manager's voice followed. Calm. Too calm. I see. I will take a look shortly. I moved fast, ducking behind a row of cleaning carts just as they turned the corner. Laura saw me, just barely. I gave her a small nod. She exhaled in relief. The manager didn't notice a thing. When Laura finally rejoined me near the escalator, she grabbed my arm. Did you get it? I pulled the keycard from my pocket. Her eyes widened. Oh my god. And? I found the lower levels. I showed her the picture on my phone. Laura covered her mouth. Detective, what is that place? I look back toward the staff-only hallway. Lights flickering, shadows shifting, something waiting beneath the floor. I don't know, but we're going down there. We followed the route from the blueprint photo. Walking past the last few open stores until the mall grew quieter, and quieter, and quieter. The lights dimmed, the music stopped, the air felt heavier. Laura hugged herself. Detective, I've never been down this way. This part of the mall is always empty. Good, means fewer eyes. We reached the dead-end hallway with the metal door at the far end, the same door from the blueprint. I pulled out the manager's key card. Moment of truth. The scanner beeped once. Green. The lock clicked. I pushed the door open. Ladies first. Laura glared at me. Detective, seriously? I smirked. Fine. Stay behind me. We stepped inside. A concrete stairwell spiraled downward, lit by flickering industrial bulbs. The air grew colder with every step. Laura's voice echoed softly. What do you think is down here? I kept my flashlight steady. I don't know. You tell me. She swallowed. But from how the staff and your manager were acting, I'd say there's a higher power at play here. Laura stiffened. Higher power? Like religious? No, not godly. Supernatural. We're just very wrong. We reached the bottom. Another door. This one had a glowing handprint scanner beside it. Laura stared at it. Why would a mall need this much security for one room? I exhaled. Because higher than likely, there ain't no dressing room. She shot me a look. That wasn't funny. Didn't say it was. Let's get back on track. Try your hand. Laura pressed her palm onto the scanner. Access denied. Red light. Loud beep. She flinched. Okay, that's not good. Step aside. I pulled a small pouch from my coat. Tools I'd used in the theme park case. Not for locks, for systems. I popped the panel open, exposing wires and a tiny circuit board. Come on, come on. Crossed two wires, then another. The scanner flickered, then... Access granted. Green light, the door clicked open. Laura stared at me. You hacked it? I blinked. Huh? Didn't think that would work. We stepped inside and froze. Rows of tubes lined the walls. Tall, glass, cylinders filled with pale, murky fluid. Inside each one, employees, or what used to be employees. Floating, unmoving, eyes closed, skin pale and waxy. Their uniforms still on, their name tags still attached. Their bodies hooked to the tubes and wires like they were being harvested. Laura slapped a hand over her mouth. Oh my god. I think I'm gonna be sick. I walked slowly between the tubes, shining my light on each faces. The froyo guy, the janitor, the jewelry clerk, all of them. Replaced, replicated, copied. The real ones were here. The ones upstairs were something else. Then I smelt it. Rot and iron. Blood. I followed the scent to the far wall. My flashlight hit something massive. Something wrong. A fleshy mass was fused into the wall. A giant organism with tendrils stretching across the concrete like veins. Its skin pulsed slowly. Breathing. The only feature that stood out was a mouth. Wide, lipless, and slowly opening and closing like it was tasting the air. No eyes, no face, just hunger. Laura whimpered behind me. What is that? I didn't answer, because the creature spoke, not with a voice, with a sound. A deep, vibrating, nightmare-soaked rumble that shook the floor. It mimicked the mall manager's voice. Same tone, same Candace, but twisted, distorted, wrong.
Welcome to Riverside.
Then his voice dropped into a guttural, bone-deep growl.
Feed me.
Laura screamed. I stepped back, disgusted, twisted in my stomach. I hope this thing is not awake. The creature's mouth twitched, then opened wider. Too wide. Far too wide. And the tubes around us began to shake. Laura stumbled backward, her breath shaking, her eyes locked on the monstrous thing fused into the wall. Detective, what is that? She bumped into something behind her. A tube. She froze. Slowly, she turned. Inside the glass cylinder floated a man in a suit. Older, gray hair. Name tag still pinned to his jacket. Mall owner, Richard Hale. Laura's face drained of color. No, 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 no. She pressed her hand against the glass. All this time, the owner I interacted with once. Her voice cracked. That wasn't him. That was a offspring of that thing. She pointed toward the creature on the wall. The tubes around us rattled. A low, trembling vibration like something shifting in its sleep. Laura gasped and backed away. Detective, don't move. We waited. The tubes shook again, then slowly settled. The fluid stilled. The glass stopped vibrating. The air went quiet. No alarms, no movement, no awakening, just silence. I exhaled slowly. Okay, they don't notice. Laura clutched her chest. I thought they were waking up. Me too. I reluctantly stepped closer to the creature fused into the wall. Its massive mouth opened, then closed, then opened again. Slow, rhythmic, breathing, sleeping. I shined my flashlight on it, careful not to get too close. The smell hit me again. Rot, iron, something old and wrong. I swallowed hard. It's asleep. Oh, thank goodness. She hugged herself, trembling. Detective, what is this place? I stared at the creature, at the tubes, at the real employees floating in silence, at the real owner. I don't know. But whatever that thing is, I pointed at the wall. It's running this mall. The creature's mouth twitched, just once, like it heard me. I snapped picture after picture. The tubes, the real employees, the creature fused into the wall. Every shot felt like evidence strong enough to shut this entire place down. Laura stood behind me, shaking. Detective, can we please go? Yeah, we got what we need. Let's... A voice echoed from the stairwell. You shouldn't be here. We both spun around. The manager stood at the bottom of the stairs, but something was wrong. His posture twitched, his head jerked, his smile stretched too wide.
You shouldn't be here. You shouldn't be here, shouldn't.
His body convulsed violently, limbs snapping to unnatural angles as he repeated the phrase over and over, each time more distorted. Laura screamed, "Oh hell no." I grabbed her hand. Come on. We ran. The manager lunged forward, but his legs buckled, sending him crashing into a storage room. He slammed against it, twitching, glitching, repeating,
You shouldn't be here. You shouldn't be here. You shouldn't be here.
I kicked him hard, shoving him into the small storage room. The moment he hit the floor, I slammed the door shut and locked it. He immediately started screaming, a high, broken, mechanical screech, and slamming his head against the door. Thud, thud, thud. Laura covered her eyes. Detective! Move! We sprinted up the stairs. We burst through the upper door and into the mall. Laura was gasping for air. Detective, what was even happening? Then we heard it, a deep vibration. From below, the creature, waking up. The floor trembled beneath our feet, lights flickering violently, store signs rattled. The entire building rumbled, shaking like something massive was shifting underground. The staff, the fake ones, all turned their heads toward us in perfect unison. No blinking, no breathing, just staring, like they knew something we didn't. Laura ran toward the front entrance. Detective, look! Cracks were forming along the walls. The floor tiles lifted, the ceiling panels buckled. The entire mall looked like it was about to take flight. Why does the building look like it's about to take off? I stared at the trembling floor, because whatever was down there was a ship. The rumbling grew louder. The creature was waking up. Okay, you know this place. Any highly flammable spots, something strong enough to destroy the whole building. Laura stared at me like I'd lost my mind. Are you crazy? If that thing survives, it'll make more offsprings. It'll feed off originals. God knows how many people it's already taken. Exactly. We're not letting it escape. She hesitated. I smirked. And besides, I already dislike this mall. It won't be missed anyways. Laura blinked. And their smoothies are mediocre. She almost laughed. Almost. Maintenance room. Pipes, valves, gas lines, everything. Perfect. We sprinted to the maintenance room, a cramped space filled with pipes, gauges, and warning labels. The rumbling grew louder. Dust flew from the ceiling. The creature was rising. I cracked my knuckles. Alright, the moment these valves are turned, we run like hell. Laura nodded, terrified. I twisted the first valve, second valve, third, fourth, fifth. The pressure gauges spiked into the red. Run! We bolted out the room. The entire mall groaned like a dying beast. The front doors were in sight. The floor buckled beneath us. The creature roared from below. We dove through the exit. The mall erupted behind us in a massive explosion of fire, metal, and concrete. I covered Laura with my coat as debris rained down. The shockwave knocked us both to the ground. Silence, smoke, heat, then I sat up coughing. We did it! Laura gasped. Yeah, we actually did it! I leaned back against the pavement, staring at the burning ruins of Riverside Mall. Good riddance. Morning sunlight cut through the smoke. Firefighters and rescue teams swarmed the ruins of Riverside Mall. Hoses sprang down the lab's stubborn flames. The building was nothing but twisted metal, shattered concrete, and blackened debris. But somehow, some of the real employees survived. Fire rescue pulled them out one by one, dazed, weak, barely conscious, but alive. The ones who had been trapped in those tubes? Laura watched from the sidewalk, wrapped in a blanket, tears in her eyes. They're alive! Her voice trembled. Oh my god! They're actually alive! Paramedics rushed them into ambulances. The scene was chaos. Then a sleek black car rolled up to the barricade. The door opened. A government official stepped out. Suit crisp, expression unreadable, sunglasses reflecting the burning wreckage. He walked forward slowly, surveying the destruction. The firefighters, the smoke, the twisted remains of the creature's organic mass half burnt under rubble. He removed his sunglasses. What the hell happened here? His secretary approached, tablet in hand. Sir, the press is already asking questions. What should we tell them? The official didn't look away from the ruins. Cover it up. Tell them it was faulty wiring, electrical failure, anything. The secretary hesitated. And what about Detective Destron? He was assigned to this case. The official sighed, long, tired, like this wasn't the first time Destron had stumbled into something he wasn't supposed to. Destron, what the hell did you get yourself into this time? He put his sunglasses back on. Keep him off the radar. No interviews, no statements. And make sure he doesn't dig anything deeper. Yes, sir. The official turned away from the ruins. Some things are better left buried. Back in his office, Destron sat at his desk, bruised, exhausted, and smelling faintly of smoke. He opened his filing cabinet, pulled out the drawer labeled "Case Closed." He slid the Riverside Mall folder inside. The tab read, "The Mall Conspiracy, Closed." He pushed the drawer shut, leaned back in his chair, exhaled. Back in my office, I sat at my desk, bruised, exhausted, and smelling faintly of smoke. I opened my file cabinet, pulled out a drawer labeled "Case Closed," slid the Riverside Mall folder inside. The tab read, "The Mall Conspiracy, Closed." I pushed the drawer shut, leaned back into my chair, exhaled. For a moment, the room was silent. Then, a faint vibration buzzed in my coat pocket. My phone. A message. Unknown number. Just one sentence. We had the remains of the organism. You did your part. Do not interfere with the analysis, detective. I stared at the screen, then closed my eyes. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. I stood up, grabbed my coat, holstered my flashlight, and walked out of my office.